Football Power Hour.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode on Erik Ten Hag in and Erik Ten Hag out. We're gonna talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to this show, to the Football Power Hour. My name is Botswanapapi. You can call me Bots, you can call me Botswana, but the main thing is today I had to dress up, man. I had to dress up because we're going to have a proper civil, in-depth conversation about Erik Ten Hag. We're just going to review his time at Manchester United because actually an update from the big dog himself, Fabrizio Romano, came out not too long ago, about maybe 10 hours ago, that you know what? The review is now in session. Review is actually happening. Matter of fact, so that I'm not paraphrasing it, let me read it out to you word by word, because we all know what happened before the FA Cup final. We had that journalist from the Guardian who leaked the news that Erik Ten Hag will be sacked from his role as manager at Manchester United, whether he wins or loses the FA Cup. But nobody else from other, like the reliable journalists, confirmed or denied that. And now Fabrizio Romano obviously broke silence on that, and this is what he actually said. The Manchester United board set to review this week in order to decide on Erik Ten Hag's future. Contacts with the representatives of other managers already took place in order to be ready, up to directors and INEOS now. Internal talks start today. Crucial days and hours ahead. Yes, internal talks start today. That means we all know, it's not news to us, that Jason Wilcox has been already conducting a thorough review on just as due diligence, as normal procedure when a new set of owners come into the club. They want to obviously see how the current leaders of the club are leading the club, how the staff is being treated, how the players are being treated, and so forth. And all that is very, very important. But the most important thing is what they review Erik Ten Hag's time as. Has it been a good thing? Has it been a bad thing? And you may be one of those people who are Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out. Your voice here matters, and we are actually going to sort of try and do this discussion in a little bit of a mock trial type of conversation. So I hope you can contribute in the conversation, and also I will post a link later on to hear what you want to say and what you have to say after we bring in, of course, Mr. Should I say the prosecuting attorney of today, Professor Omo Solo. Ladies and gentlemen, he's taking Erik Ten Hag to court as a Manchester United fan. And we shall hear his deliberation and do a little cross-examination and let you, the jury, decide, is Ten Hag guilty or not guilty? Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit that. And all rise, or all hit the like button. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the court of the Football Power Hour community is now in session. And I would like to welcome the Honorable Professor Omo Solo himself. Oh, Professor, the volume is not there.
Ready.
He is ready now. He's ready. And this is the moment where we now say to you guys that are tuned in, members of the jury, VAR room, it is your duty today to determine whether the defendant, Erik Ten Hag, is guilty or not guilty of the crimes and offenses that Omo is going to bring up today in his deliberation. And we shall talk about it and we shall listen to it and analyze it uninterrupted. And then, obviously, we'll have a moment where we do a little bit of a cross examination. We listen. I'll actually be taking notes. And yeah, and hopefully this discussion will be enjoyable to you because right now this is what's happening with the INEOS gang and Erik Ten Hag while he's on vacation. I guess they're probably doing this over Zoom or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, Professor Omosolo, how are you feeling, sir?
Oh, I'm ready. I've been
You
waiting for this
are
day.
ready. Well, let me not get in the way. Before I let you take the stand, I want to go ahead and acknowledge the people that are in the chat room, in the jury, members of the jury today. I'm looking at Lucky in the house saying Jim Radcliffe out. Oh, once get people like McKenna and Roberto Di Zerbi. Yo, okay. Lucky was already sort of taking his stance. This is an interesting conversation because I believe there's a spectrum. There's an Erik Ten Hag spectrum. Some people are in, some people are out, some people are still on the fence, believe it or not. Some people are like, no, I'm indifferent. I'm just gonna let INEOS decide what they decide. But this is the opportunity for us to talk about it because at the end of the day, I like for us to have conversations. It's not one of those Republican Democrat type situations. We have to be able to sit together at the table and have a conversation. I live in America, and sometimes over here, Republicans and Democrats can never even have a conversation, a civil conversation. So I'm
True.
glad that the Professor Omosolo is dressed up and is looking civil, and we're going to talk about it. Red One is also in the house saying, are you on weird medications or drugs or something? I guess he's responding to Lucky. Oh, boy. Please, let's keep it respectful. Hopefully, he says your sentences are like a puzzle. I like it. Okay. I think Red One is doing that in a very banterous way. All right, here we go. Mr. Yale in the house as well says everyone got injuries. We were an open book all season long, and he used 6 or 7 of the league games trying to play a system that would never. Oh, he used 6/7 of the league trying to play a system that would never work. Precise fraction, right there, Yale. But very, very good point. I'm sure it's part of almost deliberations as well.
I got
Uh,
everything covered.
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, the system we had. You know what? I'll start this conversation and we'll come back to it. I just wanted to just firstly just give my respects to everybody that is here. Men like Manj as well. Big up everyone in the chat. Who else is here? Solo is in the house. Oh, Solo says, everybody, I believe he will see out his contract, but Solo is all the way Ten Hag out. All right. Yo, Shay Arsenal as well in the house. 5 people are 007 agents. They haven't hit the like button yet. What are you doing? Okay, let me not waste any time, Professor. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What is Erik Ten Hag guilty of, as in your perspective, sir?
You know, the season started on August 14.
Right.
We won that game 1-0 versus Wolves.
Correct.
He made 0 changes opening day at home. We were carved right open to the middle. We won. But again, the middle was wide open. Game week 2, cutback from Spurs.
Yes.
Why is Spurs beating us with cutbacks? Let me put up the data on my side. Because I can't just be yapping without saying the scores. Because I didn't write the scores down. I wrote everything without the scores.
I'm already into it. It's an in-depth review. Okay. So
Yeah, second game, 2-0 versus Spurs. This man want to do his man-to-man press again. Carve right down to the middle. Game week 2. Game week 3. Who do we play against? Nottingham Forest. We won 3-2. They scored those 2 quick goals off for us. That's a Rashford making a mistake, and the second one was off a corner. People were sleeping. Either way, again, when they got the ball, where did they go? Right down the middle.
Okay.
Game week 4, we played against the great Arsenal. You know how that game went.
Yes.
The game was 1-1, and you're not players are not marking back posts. How we are training so far this year? Again, it's early in the season. My players cannot defend corner. Are you going to teach that? Because listen, these are recurring issues.
Yes.
Now, we're just going to fast forward this point. The manager at some point said, Amrabat could play left back, right? Amrabat came in, he played left back against Palace the game before. We're like, okay, cool. Amrabat could play left back. You have no left back. You got a left back off loan. Did you use the left back off loan? No, you didn't. All of a sudden, the next game, what did he do? He brought in Lindelof. He put Lindelof at left back. Lindelof that can't play left back, all of a sudden you put Lindelof at left back. Again, also, game week 11, you say you have no left back. Okay, Erik Ten Hag, you have no left back. They gave Reguilon. Where's Reguilon? On the bench. On the bench. You have a left back. You chose not to use him. Again, that's a choice. That's a choice. And you know what was on the bench? Raphael Varane.
He wasn't injured at that point. Yes,
he was not injured. He was on the bench. Listen, don't use this injury like, oh, the manager said you are on the bench.
Okay,
you're on the bench, but you won that game 1-0 versus Fulham. By the way, Luton carved right down the middle. Everton, that's when I was ETH out. Why? Cutbacks. That is when the cutbacks happened. And we won that game 3-0. We won that game 3-0. Was that the Garnacho goal? Yes, that was the Garnacho goal. Yeah. Everything. That's what I'll tell how go. Because again, cutback coming right through the middle. Again. So pretty much from game week 1 to game week 13, cutback. And there's a funny thing of where the manager says, where I've been saying that we need to play Amrabat and Mino. Okay. People told me Amrabat was injured. I'm like, there was a period of time where Amrabat was not injured. The manager chose not to play him as a choice. The game was Everton, the 3-0 win. Newcastle, Amrabat was available. Chelsea, Amrabat was available. Bournemouth, Amrabat was available. Liverpool, Amrabat and Mino. That's when they both played together. Liverpool. So 4 games in a row. They were not paired together. That's the whole point. They were not paired together. And that's why I'm like, this is the way the manager wants to play. Those two were not paired together, and they needed to be paired together. Yet again, the manager picked them. Game week 19, I believe that was the Aston Villa. They gift us that win. That was the game where the pressing worked. Only game where the pressing worked. Because again, we won the ball in that half and we scored goals. That is the only game where the pressing worked. Game week 21, Spurs. Carve right down to the middle. Right down to the middle is how the score goes. Again, recurring theme. We again
correction. This is game week 21. You said
21.
Okay, gotcha.
Again, this is a recurring theme. Yeah, our middle is constantly exposed from game week 1 to 21. Our midfield is constantly exposed. Hold on, wait. Except for game week 17, Liverpool 0-0. We were compact that day.
Yeah, this was in December. Yes.
Right. And also, the manager said, we have no left back. Reguilon was on the bench that day. That was Aston Villa that same day on Rasmus got his first goal. Game week 19. That just shows you we're not creating enough. We're not creating enough. We'll get back to that later on.
Okay.
Game week 23, Mino Casemiro. Amrabat was not available that day. So, but it's okay. Again, the middle is wide open. Game week 24, Villa man-to-man press. It was Casemiro and Mino. Yet again, the middle is wide open. This manager. Game week 25, Luton. What happened here? Oh, they gifted us 2 goals. Listen, we'll take it. I'm not going to complain about that. We take, but again, he's man-to-man press. They cover us right down the middle again. The middle is constantly getting exposed. And who did it play? Mino and Casemiro. I'll take that. That's when McTominay started eating bench. This is when he started eating bench because, listen, this man was on a rampage. Game week 26, called right through the middle. Lindelof played left back, and they made an injury of Casemiro. This is when Casemiro was finally injured. And also, by the way, 4 games Reguilon could have played, but he was on the bench until he left on, what did he leave? Forest. Whatever Forest. Game week 20 is when he left. That's the end of the January window. He left and he went away. Let's see. Game week 27.
Omar, that's asking you to tilt your camera down a little bit so they can see you a little bit.
I'm looking. I'm reading off a note.
I
got a note here.
Okay, all right. You know what? Focus on the note.
Let me focus on the note. Game week 27.
More important than the
game week 27. Game week 27. Casemiro Mino, Amrabat was available. Lindelof left back, Amrabat was on the bench. This is Magic not telling that Amrabat could play left back. Game week 28, we played a diamond formation that day. First time the diamond came out.
Who were we playing against on
we're
game?
playing against Everton.
Okay.
When we won the 2 penalties to score the goal, we're gonna actually won 2 penalties.
Okay.
Game week 28, we played a compact diamond. We used the last time we used formation was Carabao versus Crystal Palace.
I remember. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The midfield was Casemiro and Mino. I remember McTominay were available. Pretty much the whole midfield was available, but no. The diamond formation, so the midfield was Casemiro, Mino, and McTominay. Amrabat was on the bench. These key things, Amrabat is on the bench. Yeah. What's your question? Hurry up and ask it before you forget.
No. I was trying to remember because Amrabat had he went to AFCON, right? He had he came back with an injury. There was a little bit of a back.
No. When he's injured, I don't add that at all. Okay. I'm gonna add him when he's on the bench.
Gotcha.
When you're on the bench, that's what I'm talking about. It. Game week 29, Brentford outplayed us. What was the match a draw? Yes, 1-1 draw. Mount scored at 96 minutes. They scored at the 98th minute.
Which team?
What is that?
Which team are we playing?
It was Brentford.
Brentford, okay.
Mount scored at the 96 minutes and they equalized at the 98th minute as usual. The midfield that day was we covered right open. The midfield was Mino McTominay.
Bruno, yeah.
Mino McTominay. Casemiro and Amrabat were both available on the bench. Game week 30, Chelsea, you already know how that go. 4-3 loss. 4-3 loss. Mino, Casemiro, McTominay was on the bench. Mino, Casemiro started. McTominay came on for Casemiro. Amrabat was on the bench. AWB played left back. That's when AW came back and they started playing left back. Yeah. Amas was also on the bench, but I'm just putting it out there like that's a left back, but you chose not to. Again, these are choices. Game week 31 is compact versus Liverpool 2-2. There's nothing you can do there. They are better than you. But either way, the Mino Casemiro started. This when Mount started coming back into the team. AWB left back, Amrabat bench. Bournemouth, you already know what happened there. What was the score again for that game? Was that 2-2? Oh, yes, it was 2-2. The Kwambara mistake and Solanke scored that goal.
Oh, yes.
2-2.
For a penalty and then from...
Yes, but again, we are game week 32. We are still being covered right open through the middle, apart from certain games. And he's still doing the man-to-man press. Game week 32 from game week 1. But either way, we'll continue. Amrabat on the bench. AWB left back. Mino, Casemiro started. Sheffield, Casemiro was center back.
Yes.
Casemiro was center back that day. Martinez nonsense press. Mino Eriksen in the midfield pivot. Erik Ten Hag. McTominay came in for Eriksen. AWB left back. Amrabat on the bench. Just came in at the 90th minute. And you know we won that game with Sheffield 4-2.
Yes.
So we won with injuries. We won with injuries. We move on.
I mean, there was go ahead. Yeah, I just want you. That's not a cross-examination part, but go ahead. Yes.
Burnley 1-1. Antony. Mino Eriksen started that game. Again, this man-to-man press. Where did it go? Right down the middle. They outplayed us, but yet again, the score was 1-1. So that's what everybody look at. I look at the full picture. They outplayed us. Next game, Arsenal. This is when we started to play football. This is when we started to play football. This is when we come onto the pitch and started to play football. Game week 36 versus Arsenal. Casemiro center back, compact mid-block, not doing your foolish pressing. And you know who started that midfield? Amrabat Mino.
Amrabat, Mino, Bruno.
Exactly. Amrabat Mino. AWB left back, everything just worked with. Everything just smoothly. We lost of a Casemiro mistake of not coming back for the offside and what's his name, not tracking his runner. AWB. Next game, Newcastle. What do we do? Compact. Amrabat Mino controlled that midfield. Bruno, wait, was Bruno playing that game? Yes, Bruno came back at that time because I wrote it somewhere where he wasn't available. Bruno played that game. But either way, Amrabat Mino play, low block, compact. What did we do? We went out there and get the win 3-2. Brighton, my lovely Brian, out there with Deserby. What did he do? No. Also, those last two games, no pressing. He threw away that pressing away. Like, I'm not pressing these people. Brighton, What they do? Pressing? No pressing. Zero pressing at all. I just
More
get the ball and
triple
counter attack.
formation. Go, yeah.
And who's that midfield pivot again? Amrabat Minor. Zero pressing at all. So either way, that's just from game week 1 to game week 38. And when people talk about players of injured, how many players of injury? How many players are assigned players? So we just put out the whiteboard. We put out the whiteboard and we talk about injuries here.
Okay.
Onana started every single game. Wait. Onana started every single game. Rafael Varane, where is he? Varane is over here. Varane started 16 games, came on as a sub for 22. He wasn't selected for 4. Move on. Dallo, 37. He played 37 on the bench for 1. And that one, he didn't get picked, by the way. He started 35. Where is he? Licha, I understand. He started 8, but he came out as a sub for 11. No, as in total games was 11. Total games he played was 11. Started 8. There we go. Shaw started 12. That's it. He started 12. He played 12 games, started 12. Mino started 24 games. No, wait. Started 24 games, but he was on the bench for these.
Okay.
Casemiro started 24 games. Started 24 games. He played 25. He was on the bench for 1. Bruno, 35 for 35. Garnacho, 36 games. He played. Started 30.
Okay.
Marcus Rashford played 36 games, started 30.
Okay.
Rasmus Højlund played 30 games, started 25.
Right.
So when people tell me injuries and they put up a whole big graph, like, 45 different center back, 100 different center back. How many games were these are the key players? These are the players. You want to play a final? These are the players the manager will pick. 10 times out of 10. But yet again, they're going to talk about injuries. But either way, we're not done here. Listen, we have a whole cooked meal ready.
Okay.
Cooked meal ready. Hold on. Where's my other paper? Where's my other sheets? Oh, there we go. Let's talk about data. This is what the scout look at. This is what the DOF look at. Progressive pass, we're 13th in the league. Progressive pass, 13th in the league. Crosses into the penalty area, we are 19th in the league. 19th. Crosses into the penalty area, we are 19th in the league. Passes into the penalty area, we are 11th in the league. Long passes, that is passes over 30 yards, because I'm specific. Passes over 30 yards, 10th in the league. Passes between 15 and 30 yards, 11th in the league. Short passes between 5 and 15 yards, 10th in the league. Second on most offside. I expected that because we're a high pressing team. That's okay. I expected more. Liverpool is number 1 because, again, this manager want to copy Liverpool. Through passes, 8th in the league. Passes that led to goal, 12th in the league. Tackle, 9th. Tackle in our half, defensive third, 10th.
Okay.
Tackle in the mid third, 14. Tackle in the opponent half, 9th. I expect that because, again, we're a high pressing team, but it should be more. But move on. Blocking the pass the opponent make, we are first. High pressing team, that's supposed to happen. Shot block, we are first because we face so many shots. Interception, 11th in the league. Area do 1, 8th in the league. Possession, 10th in the league. When possession overall, 10th in the league. Passing accuracy, 8th in the league. Shot per game, 14 in the league. That's overall. Shot on target, 8th in the league.
Yes.
Dribble per game, 12th in the league. XG, that led to the 57 goal, 11th in the league. Big chance created, 14. Big chance miss, 14 in the league, as in big chance created. Big chance miss, 12th in the league. Shot concede, 2nd in the league. And 10th in total passes per game.
Conceded 2nd in the league, you said?
2nd in the league.
Okay.
So
metric you just said?
The last one was 10th in passes per game. As in total passes in the game, like 300 passes and stuff like that, but we are 10 to a 394.3 passes per game. So we are 10th to the league. This just shows you that this manager is so incompetent. And you know, the Champions League, we're not done yet. Champions League.
Okay.
One more data that's very important. Dribbles into the carries into the penalty area. Doku number 1 and Garnacho number 2. That's very important because good is a good thing. We're not gonna just sell the bad without the good. Come on. Champions League. Champions League, 0 in-game management, 0 man management. The reason why we lost out of all games. Listen, when people say like, oh, we play so well, you played against the number 1 team in Germany, Bayern Munich, lost. Number 1 team in Denmark, Copenhagen, smacked. Number 1 team in Turkey, Galatasaray, smacked. So pretty much you're telling me like, oh, you can only do good in England, but when you come out of England, you get scared. We move on. Carabao Cup. Do people really care about that? I don't know, but let's continue. Carabao Cup, Crystal Palace played very well. We went against Newcastle, they slapped us. The end. Listen, for me personally, I don't care about the Carabao Cup. I do not care. They smacked us. Cool, move on. I also hated that match because Ten Hag decided to bring up.
Lose 2, by the way, from the Carabao Cup.
Also, Newcastle.
Got you. Yes.
Well, I was upset at Ten Hag because he brought in we lost 3-0. I was upset because he brought in what's his name, Bruno Fernandes. Like, bro, sit him on the bench. Like, what are we doing here?
Okay.
FA Cup. This is fun because we won the FA Cup. We're happy about that. Yeah. Wigan, you put your strongest lineup. Newport, strongest lineup. Nottingham Forest, I expect a strong lineup. They're a strong team. Liverpool, strong lineup because again, it was a strong team. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
I can give him that. Coventry, strong lineup. Mancity, this is a final. You go with your strongest line. There's nothing I can do about that. But again, this is just leading up to it. Coventry, Coventry, Wigan, Newport. One's in Championship, one's in League One, one's in League Two, and you're struggling against the team. But either way, we move on. When people say Ama was injured. Ama was available versus Newport, yet Omari Forson came on. Wolves, Ama was available, yet Omari Forson came on. So when this manager when they tell me that people are injured, I'm like, then he's on the bench though. I'm not talking about when people are out the game, when you're not getting selected. I'm not talking about that. When you are on the bench, you're added to the equation immediately. And well, hold on, let me see if there's anything else.
This is your deliberation, brother. As long as
I'm looking at anything else. Oh, this is a fun little data. Because again, we score goal, we concede goal, -1 goal difference. Is it -1 or -2?
-3.
No, with -1 goal difference. 57 goes wrong, 58 goes concede.
You mean in the table on the Premier League right now?
In the Premier League.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Here's a fun. In the first half, we scored 22, we concede 23 in the first half. In the second half, we scored 35, we have conceded 35. This is the important part. From minute 1 to minute 30, we have scored 14, but we have conceded 18. From minute 1 to minute 30, we have scored 14 and have conceded 18.
Yeah.
Listen, this all shows you why this manager should get out of this club.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, wait, hold up. Did I say this? Touching the opponent boxes. We're touching the opponent box. We are 19. We are 9th in the league. I forgot to add that because I wrote down a different paper. Listen, get this manager out of the club. The sooner the better. Because right now, have you not suffered enough? Game week 1 since August 5th, August 14, I believe. Is it 14 or 15? August 14, 2023. Yeah. All the way to May 12th.
Yes.
You expect to just throw that away?
Okay. I mean, I want you to conclude your deliberation first, and then
I'm done. I'm not gonna forget a whole 35 weeks of football because. Another fun fact. Oh, wait. This is the point. This is a funny one right here. Champions League. We played against Bayern Munich. We lost 1-0, right? Game 6. That was on December 12th. Something important happened at that day. Something important. That was December 12th. December 9, 3 days before that, we played against Bournemouth. We lost 3-0. Thomas Frank said, they asked Thomas Frank in the interview, what will you do against Manchester United tough team? And said we'll go down the middle. What did he do? Go down the middle, score 3 goals. What happened versus Bayern Munich? Went down the middle. You cannot make this up. The data speaks for itself. Don't tell me how you feel, what you think. The data speaks for itself.
I hear it. I hear it, and I want
to. And now I'm done.
I hear it. Thank you for sharing your side. And before we get to the cross-examination side, there's a couple of people who obviously want to, a few cross-examination lawyers who want to just rebut it.
Oh yeah, they want to react. I'm ready. It's a react channel today.
Here's the thing. What I'm gonna say about a lot of the is plural for matrices. Nah, whatever. You get what a lot of the stats that you mentioned is like I hear them, and I but not all of them are like actually, for me, in my opinion, making the point that I feel like you're trying to make. Because when you say like, all right, whatever, we're 13th in progressive passes, or we're 19th in the league in crosses, like what exactly like are you saying? Because you realize obviously that, you know, for crosses to happen, you need to be able to have like a constant, like a proper constant back line. You need to have full backs that you're working on patterns with to make those crosses, first of all, right? Like that's why we were 19th in the league. It's part and parcel of like the defenses that the injuries that we had are mostly like very impactful, especially on the defensive line. Forget the guys inside the pitch. Forget the you know, whatever. Marcus Rashford is injured right now.
I'm not looking at play. That's why I didn't mention it as single player except for Garnacho carries. You see right. Wait, you want me to talk about the crosses or which one? Like, okay, let us start with the crosses. Where's my paper? Let us start with the crosses. We are 19th in the league and crossing to penalty area. You have the players available, but yet you don't play to their strength. 19th in the league and cross. Also, the total of that is 50 apart in all 38 games. That's in the Premier League, because I'm not adding those other competitions. That is in the Premier League. Okay. In 38 games, 50 crosses into the penalty box. That's 19. The lowest below us is Sheffield at 48 crosses. Sheffield barely had the ball, and we get the ball. We are 10th in possession. So we had the ball. So there are no excuses for us why we should not cross into the penalty area. We have the players.
Excuses.
Players are going up the pitch. They're in position. Why is it?
Listen, for a successful cross to actually happen, you need to know that the area that you're crossing is then overload on the far post. For you to be able to work towards creating a situation like that in actual like build-up play, you need to be having some patterns, and the patterns need to exist with consistency of players. Now, how are you going to achieve that if you don't have the players available to build that consistency? You know, and it's just basically that. It's like some of the stats that you're mentioning, they're actually working against you, and because of that, you're not looking at the whole
because of injuries.
And that I'm not even gonna like go deep into it and say whatever. You are aware, obviously, that we had Eric Ramsey leave at the beginning of 2024, former set piece coach, right? You mentioned a lot about, game week 2, game week 3, we conceded from Arsenal from a corner kick. Arsenal are the team that scored the most corner kicks in the league, you know, and we got rid of Deadwood guy.
That's why I said at the time. That's why I keep going back like week to this week. Nothing changed, but go on.
Sure. And also the fact that, like, you know, we've had You were mentioning the cutback crosses and all that stuff. Conceding from a cutback from Spurs, from Bayern Munich, from who else? There's so many. The list goes on, right?
It's a lie.
Yeah, it's partially because of like who's usually the person who's supposed to be defending a cutback cross, the defensive midfielder, right? That's running back to because the ball has just been taken by the opposition and they're arriving late. But all those things, if you try and correct it with one DM, then the next like 3 games, it's on the 3rd game, it's another defensive midfielder. You're most likely susceptible to having the same mistake repeat itself. Those little things, I feel like you're just not even.
No, Papi, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
So you understand the impact of injury?
No, wait, hold up.
The stats that you are mentioning.
Hold up. You're right?
Yeah.
When you set these players up to constantly press, again, this is why I keep hampering in the beginning. The man-to-man press, the man-to-man press, the man-to-man press. We're getting covered in the middle. The man-to-man press, we're getting covered in the middle. This is how I was saying it a lot. This is why against Arsenal, were we man-to-man pressing? Against Newcastle, were we man-to-man pressing? Yet we have injuries. We had injuries too. This is the important thing. We had injuries. And the manager chose, you know what, I'm not going to man-to-man press. Liverpool, we had injuries. We didn't man-to-man press 0-0. Again, when we played at Old Trafford, 2-2. Again, man-to-man press. So again, these are choices being made. Because again, if you went compact, like Everton, the Everton game, I didn't like it, but we won 3-0. But yet we're compact in the middle. We're compact in the middle. Was it easy for them to cut back? No. Recently, we also saw Newcastle, Man City. Was there any cutback or any chance for a cutback? No.
Okay.
There are other games where no, not other games. These past 3 games in the league, would you send a cutback? Do you send a cutback? No. Why is that? Because you're compact.
Yeah. There's you can also make the argument that the players finally understood the instructions from the coach about you could.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna tell you why it's false.
Because you saw a definite change, and Ten Hag has been playing a little bit of a 4-2-2 formation a little bit more consistently than usual, and that's not been the case at the beginning of the season, right? The first 2/3 of the season. So partially, maybe it's him being like, oh, okay, you know what? When I set the team this way, they actually understand the instructions about how to still play the ball, how to still create passing lanes, but still remain compact in the moments when we lose the ball to the opponent. So you could make that argument and say, oh, finally they got it at the end of the season. You know?
I'm going to tell you why it's false.
Why? And then I'm going to bring in the cross.
Again, Papi, you forget the most important thing I've been saying.
What is it?
The man-to-man press.
Okay.
Those past 3 games, did you see any man-to-man press?
No.
0. Wait.
Okay.
That being man-to-man press is an instruction.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, Liverpool, no man-to-man press. That was in the middle of the season, by the way. Wait, hold on. What match was that? Liverpool. What was Game week 17. Okay. Game week 17, 0-0. No, 0 man-to-man press. So you can do it. That shows that you can do it. And again, towards the end of the season, game week 31, 0 man-to-man press. Okay. So you have a choice. This was in the middle of the season. So you cannot tell me what you can do in the middle of the season. Then all of a sudden, the next game, they cannot do it no more. Next game, they're clueless.
That point, I hear you. It's one of the stronger ones that you've made today. That like, okay, there is moments where he can really do a drastic switch in tactics. But the thing about it, Omo, I want to just make sure you understand this: that there is the part of like instructions, right? You can give the same instructions. You know, you've had a teacher who's giving instructions to a student, and then the student does not get them. And then comes a moment when they have the aha moment, you know, that, this is what you've been trying to say all this time, this season, you know. So there is that. I want to make sure that you're conscious of that. I want to firstly, really quickly, shout out to everybody that's in the building that just joined this called Deliberation, Erik Ten Hag in versus Erik Ten Hag out conversation. Men like Pav, Joe Blackman is in the house as well. the defense league, when they're here, they're gonna cross-examine you almost. So I'm just trying to just make sure you you know some of the things that you may be turning a blind eye.
The Liverpool point would just kill them. Like
Okay, all right, all right. Let's bring in first men like Santiago in the house. Manchesterunited, big shout out to you, bro.
Big up for everybody. How's it going?
Oh, we are here. You heard this court session? You and the what's your cat's name?
That's Nora, who is a very. She the only time she gets on my desk is whenever I turn on my camera. It's like she has some sort of power. Like, oh,
shout out to Nora. But bro, you've heard almost deliberation. This is the moment now when we can actually now bring up some of those points and now rebut any if you have any to rebut. So
listen. I guess I'm not sure.
I'm assuming you're Ten Hag. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm even Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out. I'm just I don't even like. It's gotten to the point where I'm just like I don't even know. Like, you know what I mean? Like the one thing I will say is like with Ten Hag, or I guess. Let's dial it back. Let's go back a couple seasons. We're under Ralph Ragnick. We're playing absolute horrifying football. We don't even know what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
Where did either one of you or both of you think we would land last season? Not this season that just ended, but the season beforehand. Ten Hag's first season.
7.
I'd say 7th or 8th.
I've been okay with 7.
Horror. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's I figured if we make top 6, we're lucky. And I mean, a majority of those players are still around. That's my thing, right? We had Ten Hag come in. He had definitely overachieved, and I mean definitely overachieved his first year. This year, I know injuries have been a problem. There's been a lot of rotation. So, in a way, I'm not necessarily surprised that we had this season once again, though. Right? Whether it was players downing tools, whether it was, a combination of different things. I think the most frustrating part to me was Ten Hag's stubbornness, because he could have reverted back to a lot of what he was playing his first season. This second season, he was just really, really wanted to do that inverted style. Everybody could see that Casemiro's legs are gone, and so he couldn't cover that space. We were playing essentially like a donut football with just giant spaces in the middle of the pitch. Everybody was running through, and we were conceding.
Donut formation. Yep.
You know what I mean? And so, like to me. I don't know if maybe it's because once Jason Wilcox came in and he said, hey, look, we need to start playing this certain way, or we need to have these certain patterns, that suddenly we saw that transition. And suddenly, those last, 10 games, we actually saw a difference, right? I would say probably after Palace, right? Like that was probably like maybe like a wake-up call to be like, you have got to stop playing this way of football and you need to start adapting. Now, if that is the way moving forward, I could trust Ten Hag to work with all the INEOS folks that are still in the process of, entering their jobs, right? Omar Barada's not in the house yet. Dan Ashworth's not here yet. You know what I mean? So it really is just, if Ten Hag is going to be less stubborn, right? I was trying to find like a nice word for it, but if he's willing to be less stubborn, and if he's willing to compromise and work with those guys, I think he's a good enough coach. I think the biggest and really only reason why I would say Ten Hag in is the fact that he brought Garnacho in his first season, Kobe Mainu this season. There are several folks from the academy, that like we've, I guess those Twitter accounts that love to hype up academy players, we know not every single one of them is going to, break through. We've seen folks that get upset about, Alvaro Fernandez or, what's his face, Garner or whatever, that got sold.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where, like, when you see the long-term plan, like some of those midfielders, they weren't good enough. I'm pretty sure Ten Hag just said, you know what, move on, let's make some money off of it, but also clear the path for Kobe Mainoo, right? There's Alvaro Fernandez, whether he's good enough or not, we have a buyback clause. We have first, like first deniability, right? So like if somebody comes in, we can say nope, we want to bid the same as much. And then there's also that like Harry Amas kid that's supposed to be good. I don't know. That's what people on Twitter are saying. I don't know if it's true, but that's just kind of my views at the moment.
I hear it. So, in the point of stubbornness, you heard the overlap, right? Interview that Ten Hag gave for his reason for not changing something. So he has two stages. He was like, last season we had a very good defensive record, and then this season he wanted to sort of introduce a proactive style of play, which is a lot of what Omar has been complaining about, and said, but we've had so many injuries, and then he's mentioned this point succinctly, saying, if I've been preaching this, and then because we are missing player A, B, and C, and then I suddenly revert to that, what happens now when the player A, B, and C come back? Do I switch back to this, and it becomes chaotic again? Do you hear that point? Like, and what do you say to that? And I want to welcome Ronald and Main Event Maino in the house as well, by the way. But Manchikushna, what are you saying?
I understand the desire to keep a specific system. I mean, he was critiqued for this specific thing in the Netherlands years ago. Like, there was a specific interview I had seen that people were saying, like, you're getting cut through in the middle like this, the same thing, same exact thing. And the problem is that it takes time, and this would, if we're going to stick with Ten Hag, it's going to be a long-term project, and we have to know that it's not going to always be easy. Now, on the flip side, right? If we're going to, be chaotic and completely change the football once again, who is the alternative? I mean, let's be honest. Hansi Flick just signed for Barcelona. I thought he was probably the only person I would have said sack Ten Hag for. Who else is available? De Zerbi or
You're right. Mr. Main Event Maino.
Yo, big up, man. You saying?
Yeah, bro. Ten Hag gets one more year from you or no?
Nope. He should have gone in at the end of the FA Cup. I tell you why. 19 losses in all competitions, -1 goal difference, 8th in the league, worst ever position as a manager, worse than Oli and them, man. And you know what? I'm not going to let the FA Cup cloud my judgment. That's whatever to do. And yeah, he's got to go. Simple as that.
We hear it. Ronald, you've been patiently waiting, brother. First of all, hello, and also welcome to this conversation. You heard Professor Omo. You had all that.
Not all of it, because only so much a man can hear when someone's respectfully giving their critique. I just got sidelined with work as well, so big up to Professor Omo. I love that shirt that you're wearing under the suit. Man showed up for the account review meeting in a professional way. I respect efforts more than results. I appreciate efforts, because yes, a lot of waffle can be said, right? You can at least do the least to look professional if you can't sound professional. So man looks professional. I love it. I would want Professor Omo to show like this up every time. He looks like a dog.
Listen.
Santiago, hi. Main event, Maino, I think you're Manj, if I'm not wrong. Hi to you as well, man.
Hi.
So, everything said, I won't rebuttal everything, because I think we've done that back and forth, me and Omo, a lot of times. He's come to an conclusion. He won't agree with me. Likewise, I won't agree with him. But I respect his opinion, because obviously, at the end of the day, he doesn't want United to fail. He's also coming from a place of heart where he wants United to succeed in maybe a different way than how it is succeeding right now. Maybe he thinks that, you know what, we can go ahead and win the Prem maybe 2 years from now with a different manager. And I can appreciate that because at the end of the day, that helps Manchester United, right? So I'm not going to go back and forth and tell him that, oh, you're wrong over here, you're wrong. No, no. You've done that the entire season. This is nothing but turning out to be how we spoke about Qatar and Sir Ratcliffe all over again, right? Same conversations, back and forth, recycled points, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, how the season panned out, you have to kind of see and think about it. Yes, were there flaws in how the season panned out? Yeah, absolutely, there were flaws. But did we win what we're supposed to win? Yes, we did. Because I asked Omo the other day what his expectation was. He said 7th from this season. And I think we finished 8th. That is 1 point less than 7th, right? As in like position-wise. However, we did earn the FA Cup, which was not a part of his expectations. At the same time, we went ahead and finished in Europa, which was not a part of his expectations. When it comes to a point when someone says, oh, goal difference. Well, what was the goal difference in 2019? What was the goal difference in 2015? What was our goal difference in 2012? What was our goal difference in 2002? Do you know? These stats are minuscule points when you're trying to go ahead and sound that, oh, you know what, this manager is bad. And you can use these points. Just somehow someone can say that Bruno Fernandes is not a person who can control the ball. Can I tell them that just because he controlled the ball in the Man City game, now he's a ball controller? No, I have to agree with them, right? So this season, I have to agree with them. It is bad. How bad is it though? Because last season, we finished 3rd. What was our goal difference again? 0. So we were bad by what? -1. That's a huge difference, no? I think that's a huge, massive difference in how we're looking at the game.
Ronald, last season, our goal difference was 15.
Nah, 0.
2022, 2023?
Yeah, it was 0. When Ten Hag came in, it was 0.
All right, let me just...
Prem, it was 0.
The right table here. All right, here we go. Google 2023, 24, our goal difference is -1. When we go to 2022, 2023, goal difference is 15.
Then it might have been the entire season then. Because I saw it 0. Not too sure. Because 0 has been there. We have seen 0 somewhere.
Maybe that was 2021, 2022. Was
it Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Yes. Ten Hag came in 2022, 2023.
Yeah. So it ain't that bad, in my opinion. I would still see him out with the last season. I wouldn't give him an extension, for sure. Because just the same way he judged certain players on, even for Rashford and Shaw, we gave them contracts last minute, right? And right now, I would want to go ahead and see how he does in the last season itself. And then we will go ahead and see if there is any hope. Because, right, I see the thing is a lot of people over here, they want to talk about facts, but they don't want to look at the entire picture. They want to see parts and parcels of what they like and what supports their agenda, right? Because when I say injuries, they will cry me a river saying, "Oh, that's disingenuous." It doesn't matter. Why? Why does it not matter? Bots, just to you, not the panel, just to you, would we win the FA Cup final without Lisandro Martinez?
I honestly don't think so. But this guy right here came in at halftime and said Lisandro Martinez's job in this game could have been done by Willy Kambwala.
Which is fine. Again, like I said, a person can say whatever they want. At the end of the day, I'm not going to come here and bash them on what they said. Good luck and God bless to them, right? That's how they see the game. Because if Pep Guardiola is saying that Lisandro Martinez is the best centre-back or top 5 centre-back in Premier League, and I have to listen to Professor Omo on YouTube telling me that job could have been done by Kambwala, then who should I listen to?
Papi,
go ahead, Omo.
You see, like, football is not hard. It's not hard. But when you try to make it complicated by bringing in facts that doesn't, like, not try to, like, I'm saying A, somebody say B. Like, for example, I said the goal difference from this year. This man's bringing up goal difference from 2 years ago.
No, I'm just asking you a question. How does it matter?
Let me talk.
I've been respectful, but okay, go ahead.
You have to
Scream,
wait.
cry me a river.
It's not back and forth. When I
It
talk
has to
about
be,
something, when I talk about things happening 2023, 2024, they want to bring up something old. Juries just now, I know they're going to bring up injury. I was waiting for that. We won games with injuries. We should have lost those games, right? Why are we winning games with injuries? Why are we winning games with injuries?
Because not every team is the same.
It's a rhetorical.
You're asking a question, rhetorical now, all of a sudden, fam. Okay, go on.
Papi, why are we winning games with injury? We should have lost. FA Cup final, Shaw wasn't there. Why did we win? Shaw wasn't there. Why did we win? Champions League, Shaw Licho missed some games. Why did we win? Why did we win? Minor wasn't there. Yeah, we won one game. One game in the Champions League. But other games when players are healthy, players with injuries, without injuries, yeah, we still won. And I'm supposed to say, injuries. We won though. Brighton, injuries. We won though. Newcastle, recently. These are recent, but again that way. Newcastle, injuries. We won though. Who was the center back? Casemiro? Is Casemiro center back? Why are we winning Casemiro playing center back?
I mean, Omar, there's a lot of reasons why a game is won and lost. You know, a
game is won and lost based on the players playing, as per some, right? Because these players can win you everything. No, these players are good enough to even play without a manager, because the same players that are being put on a pedestal right now by someone, right? And a manager has been crucified like Jesus Christ. Well, at the end of the day, then why are you complaining about Coventry? The players should have showed up, right? The players should have played the game out because the players are good enough, no? Why do they need tactics against Coventry, a championship team? The players are good enough to do it themselves. The manager should even go ahead and say, guys, just go ahead and do your thing. You know what to do. Why do you need tactics against Coventry if the players are so good enough to win you the Premier League?
I mean, come on now.
You see, when let me back on topic.
But back on topic of what? We are on topic. I've just rebutted to your point.
You want to respond to that, Omo, before I welcome Pav in the conversation? And thank you, Manj, for being here. Manj has a work obligation right now, but Pav,
don't we have a manager? Yeah. We have a manager. This whole tactic that's been going on since game week 1 to now, to this FA Cup victory, all was on the manager tactics, all on the manager selections. Are the players selecting themselves to be in the lineup, or is the manager doing it?
Bots, we can still see your screen, by the way.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Pav, bro, welcome to this conversation, Pav.
What's going on?
You've been hearing some of the stuff that we've been talking about. Where are you? Do you hear some of Ogmo's arguments? I know you were one of those people that were Ten Hag out, and then
the original Ten Hag out, bro. The original from the second week of the Premier League, bro.
Game week 2. I remember you calling it out on KG's channel. And I'm curious, like, how you evolved your stance and why, and and where you at right now.
Listen, there's arguments from both sides, isn't it? But ultimately, the only stats matters are trophies, and that's what I've always said. And I'll be disingenuous if I'd said that the FA Cup don't matter. Trophies is the only thing that matters to me. Like, after that, you could talk about wins, losses. If we didn't win anything, of course, we talk about all the negative stuff. But when you win, honestly, the other stats, right? People talk about the XGs, all this tilt view stuff, expected assists, all this other crap. I don't care. The only thing that matters to me, titles, championships, cups, trophies, whatever you want to call it. Wins, losses, goals scored, assists, player assists, that only comes into play for me when we win stuff. Other than that, I do not care. I don't know why anyone else cares. Look, it's true. Who cares? I don't. You know, when we don't win stuff, I don't sit there at the end of the season saying my player scored more goals than your player. I couldn't care less. We haven't won anything. And the only time I'll talk about it is when we've won cups or a title. But obviously, we haven't won a title in a very long time. But yeah, going back to what Omo and Ronald's talking about. Look, they've both got points, and I'm just saying, like yesterday, the man won a cup, and he says he's here to win trophies. Continue to win trophies, and I won't say anything. But the season was horrendous. The Premier League was one of the worst, probably the worst that I've experienced. Post Fergie, it was one of the crappiest seasons. But he saved it because of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And I already said that the summer, I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with the signings. That's on him. That's on Murta. That's on Arnold.
Yeah.
But you have to give the guy his last year. What's there to lose? If he doesn't perform, we could sack him with 6 months on his contract left. Just there might be some managers out there. But if he hadn't won the FA Cup, I'd be calling for the man's head. But he won the FA Cup. I think you get a few credits for that. I didn't think I'd say it, but my head turned when he was speaking to them journalists. When he was like, when they were coming for his head, when Alan Shearer was coming for his head, Gary Lineker was coming for his head. I was like, no. You know, in like WWE, when a player turns heel, something's going on and he's gone from bad to good. I felt like that.
Yeah.
I felt like I need to turn heel, and he gets that 1 year from me. But all the stats and stuff, it don't matter, people. We're United fans. We're here for trophies. And he won the trophy back to back, yeah.
Pav, one thing I wanted to bring to your notice was you said something about it, right? About Pep as well. I'm sure you've seen the whole, because we won, so I'm sure you've seen it till the end, right? By any chance, did you see the Kyle Walker interview? Now, if a professional footballer, right, who's our rival, who just lost, is still giving emphasis to the fact that injuries were a cause of how bad the season panned out for them, because he has certain friends in our
what did Walker say? Because I didn't watch it. The only one I saw was Pep, and where he was crying about Man United weren't the better team. Basically, who cares? We weren't the better team. We slapped you.
So Kyle Walker basically said that the season panned out difficult for them because of the injuries. Because I have certain friends in there, and I know they've been working hard. So if a professional footballer is telling you that injuries do impact how your season pans out, we've also seen a similar example of Liverpool when they went for a quadruple. Their season next time panned out pretty bad because of injuries. But I am here to listen.
The injuries about us or about him?
About us, about Manchester United. But I have to accept it from people that injuries don't matter at all.
But
injuries have zero significance.
Here's where I'll push back. Ten Hag knew from the season before, the first season, which players were injury prone, because the same players were getting injured this season. And then he signed players who came in injured. That's what I got really annoyed about. We signed Rasmus Højlund, who came in with a back injury. We signed Amrabat, who came with a back injury. Even, what's that keeper's name? The Turkish brother. What's his name? Bayern Deer. He came in with an injury. We were signing players who were coming in injured.
Mount as well.
Matt, like, don't even get me started on Mount, innit? We signed Mount, who last season was pretty much injury-ridden at Chelsea. And the only player that we signed who actually wasn't injury-prone was Onana. Did we sign anyone else? I can't remember.
But,
is that it?
But Pav, to that, my rebuttal would be that because, again, it comes down to veto power, right? And you might want to say that this manager used his veto power to get them. However, the club equally has their veto power to say that, no, we're not going to get that person because that person is injured right now. That's one. Secondly, when you said about players who were injured, he signed Martinez. Martinez has never had such an injury record in the past. So no one predicted that Martinez would be injured the way he got injured this season.
No, but that's different. I'm talking about the players that have been injured, like your Martial. We knew he was injury prone. Ten Hag knew he was injury prone. That's why he brought in Weghorst. We knew that Luke Shaw was always injury prone. He's even played less games than Martial. We knew that Lindelof picks up injuries, right? We knew that guy picks up injuries. Who else is injured a fair bit? Rashford had shoulder issues, but he played a fair amount of games last year.
But Pav, at the same time,
but you decided to bring in players. You didn't bring in players to cover these injury-prone players. I don't know what happened with Malacia, bro. I thought like this man got
But then
like
again, Tab,
kidnapped or something, bro.
I can't really agree with that point. The only reason I can't agree, and I understand where you're coming from, right? When you talk about injuries, that we should have a cover for all these people in these places, right? Martial got injured at the very end. You're right, right? We were signing one striker, which was going to be Haaland. My only point is, we also looked at Sabitzer. The club said no. We looked at Gravenberg. The club said no. So we got Amrabat on loan. That was our last signing that we made on loan. We looked at Luke Shaw being injured. Someone messed up with Malasia's injuries, right? The club, because let's not forget, we did get Reguilon as well.
And then what did we do?
I'm supposed to.
Knowing how bad the medical team was, you took their advice, the manager. If you, as the manager, you took their advice that Malacia or that Luke Shaw was coming back and they were ready, and sent Reguilon back.
We've never had such bad injuries in our own club's history.
But
it's never been that bad. At the same time, it's not a manager's job to question people employed by the club. That is the management to look into. Did they not go ahead and sign the big guy from Arsenal, trying to go ahead and rectify what was already messed up? So they took their own steps to go ahead and eradicate those problems. But the club also gave him Reguilon, but just for 6 months, because they gave him an assurance we will have Shaw or Malacia back. But that never happened. So let me tell
you something. Do you remember? Yeah.
Can I remember please, if that's okay?
No. Let me quickly butt in for this one thing. Do you remember when we played Barcelona at Camp Nou in the Europa League, and there was like all them clips of all them analysts sitting up in the boxes doing all their work? So why didn't any of these analysts tell the Ten Hag, all these analysts that they brought into the club, right, for Ten Hag, about certain players picking up injuries, reoccurring injuries? Because it's the same players getting it, and yet we didn't bring anyone in to cover them. We didn't try to replace them.
That's what I'm saying. If it is anyone's fault at the club, it comes down to Erik Ten Hag, rightfully so, because he's the face of that management. But those are backroom staff that you're trying to blame him on. When Omo complains about tactics, because entire season I have never said a word to Omo when he said we need to compact the midfield. Because I understand the logic behind when he says that statement, because I know he has a plan of action in mind. And he's broken it down beautifully before on the same channel. People, you need to go revisit that video. I'm not sure when, but he did break it down. So I'm not questioning that aspect of things. I'm just saying a person who came in last season we did not have these many injuries, right? Last season was quite okay when it comes to injuries. Because his main players, his first team was not that much injured at all, barring maybe I can say maybe Varane for a little bit. However, this season, how would he go from I can trust them to no, now I can't trust them? That can only happen when the season pans out, when he's seen everything. And that's also not his job. That's not his job to judge. That's the management's job. It's their job. There is a big reason why Sir Jim Ratcliffe has asked everyone at Carrington after the FA Cup game, or even after the last game we had, he asked everyone to pack their bags, take everything that they have, and go back home. Nothing needs to be kept at Carrington. Why? Because they're going to do an overhaul of Carrington this season. They're going to completely revamp Carrington, bring in the best of the best technologies, so he understands those aspects of the things. They do play a very important picture. They do play an important role because Ronaldo said it, right? When he came here, our equipment is not at point. Anyone who's played professional football, I haven't, right? But I have been around people who've played professional football. Recovery is also important. Is recovery not a part of football? So our players are getting injured, right? Because their recovery is also not in place.
But we know all this, that the stuff at Carrington's outdated. We've had the best player in the world tell us numerous times. We already know this. But then you as the manager, that your medical department is at an absolute shambles. then why are you not pushing for players? Why are you not pushing to replace some of these players that
Have
constantly
he
get
did not
injured again?
know it at the start of the window. He did
It
not know it
doesn't
at the
take.
start of the
It doesn't.
season. He
Bro,
only
a
got to
blind man
know
could tell
when they
you
lied
that.
about him.
A blind man could have told you that this was going to happen with some of these players. Sure, like
Oh,
obviously we knew that
which
Varane was going to get
which
injured. We
blind man
talked
could have
about it
told
last
you
summer.
that Martinez was going to get injured? Please tell me. I'll speak to that blind man.
Yeah, but it's just not Martinez though. There's other players that are
I'm
being
just
injured.
taking an example.
Wan-Bissaka's been injured. Like so many players are getting injured. But why was that? What is it? Just what bad luck, or was it a training from Ten Hag? Because we heard many stories about the overdoing it in training. Ten Hag's making players overdo
The
it.
same has been mentioned about Pochettino, which half of the fan base wants. The problem is half of the Erik Ten Hag outers. I'm not going to say Omo is one of them, right? Because he's coming with a tactical nuance. But half of the people are just butthurt about how he's traded some of their fanboys, like Ronaldo, like Sancho. It just stems from there, and now they're nitpicking. Now they're nitpicking. That is why, contextually, when you talk about a manager, most of the arguments that they come forward with is just this season. Last season wasn't his season when he overachieved everyone's expectations.
Mate, he didn't overachieve. A club of Man United size, when you get into UCL and you win a cup, it's not overachievement, it's expectation, bro. People who keep saying overachievement, man, you man need to get put into Guantanamo Bay or something, bro. Stop saying it's overachieving. It's expectation, bro. Man United, stop saying we're overachieved, bro.
You might have different expectations,
that's why I always
but there
say
are
standards are in the bin when people say we overachieve. We're Man United. Expectations are trophies.
You might have different expectations. Other people have different expectations. Omo at the top of the page said seventh was his expectation from this season.
The squad that he had,
the manager said.
that was sort of, you can't say, like, I understand, like, you can't say we overachieved. Let's say he surpassed a lot of expectations.
But from Manchester United standpoint, we did not overachieve. However, please come to reality, right? Look at the season before that, where we were, how we finished, what we did, and then take the comparison.
We're sixth with 0 goal difference. And then he comes in, and then we jump up to third with a 15 goal difference.
And I would be sitting with Pav and everyone criticizing this manager if we had the same team from last season and he would have still been this bad that he has been this season. I would be with you guys and saying, yes, Erik Ten Hag needs to go because he couldn't play the season out with the same team he had last season. But he did not have that team. He did not even have that team for 10 games.
He also mentioned, by the way, in the post-match conference that after the City game, he said we need robust players. Like he pretty much just hinted at the players that we have are just too fragile. That's from his perspective, and that from that, and also as well as squad depth. He just said it's not about just having a deep squad; it's about having robust players that are there for majority of the season and have like availability. So like the thing for me that I'm still trying to figure out is like how come the trainings, the injuries that have happened not during a match, those ones are the ones that surprised me. You remember there was a time when we just didn't have a fit center back. We had maybe just one, or like I can't remember which game it was, but it was just a few. It was the last part of this.
I remember it was a particular game.
Yes, it was just almost just one fit center back, and I think that's when maybe even Willy Kambwala, who was new, ended up becoming one of the injury prone players as well. So when we look at the season in hindsight, you have to wonder, like, wait, is the manager training them too hard? Is the manager expecting too much from players? That for me is a question mark. Santiago, you here?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to multitask.
No, it's all good, all good. I mean,
bots. I have to jump off, but bots. I have to jump off. So I'll see you guys on the next one. But big up Omo for the suit and everything, every knowledge. I'll just be listening on the background. Big up Santiago and big up Pav. Love for the love. Bye-bye, bots.
Thank you, brother. Take care, Ronald. Yeah, I want to just find out from you guys, like, what do you feel about this injury situation? Like, how we keep on having so many players getting injured, and that doesn't happen at other clubs as much, say like City or Arsenal,
Well, I mean, it's probably pretty telling that some of the folks in the medical department got fired immediately once INEOS came in. I don't think we have a good enough medical department. I think Lisandro Martinez, he was rushed back. How many times did we allow Rashford to play through an injury and had to have a surgery after last Euros, right? Like, I think it's a problem that's been there. Martial, Phil Jones.
Don't forget that Casemiro had to go get a second opinion.
Oh yeah,
exactly. I mean, there's multiple instances of players that, for whatever reason, either have just been run down to the point where they just cannot return, or they just consistently keep getting injured. I don't know. I think it's particularly telling of our department, because how many times have we seen folks that are suddenly either coming back, next thing you know, oh, they got injured in training. How many injuries did we have in training? And it was all like muscle injuries. It wasn't broken bones. I mean, this was from fatigue. So the players aren't doing, I don't know that they're not doing what they're told, right? I'm pretty sure that they are. I think it's more of we don't have a good enough recovery plan in place for them, right? That's
recovery plan and the facilities. Like, we didn't even have a pool. They had to go somewhere else to use the pool. I remember Cavani saying that there was no pool. He wanted to use the pool. Ronaldo coming saying it's the same hot tub when he left in 2009 he left, I believe, at the end of that season. Same hot tub. Mate, like the equipment that Roy Keane would use. Remember that video with Roy Keane when he's just like smashing out his when he's coming back from that injury?
Yes.
Bro, they still had that there. They still had that same chair there. What's going on?
Yeah.
Well, that means
and even Pogba. Do you remember when Rangnick come in and he told Pogba, why you go into was it America or Dubai to get your injury operation? He was like, you need to get back to Old Trafford, and Pogba was like, no. The man was out there in America, bro, doing his recovery. He was like, I'm not getting operated by you, man. You taking a piss. That's how bad it's been.
Yeah.
Like, the players at our own club don't trust these man to do their operations, to send them to get sent wherever they're going. But I don't know who did the hiring at this club, bro. Man out here with some black market Nigerian papers, bro. That's what we were doing.
I've been I hear you, Pev. I've been trying to take notes, being informed by some of this discussion on strengths and weaknesses of Ten Hag. If anybody has anything to contribute as well, kindly do so. Omo, you I don't know, you haven't spoken in a while, and I'm wondering, somebody in the chat said, are you asleep? I just need to check.
I was.
Yeah.
Listen, this man has weakness. I don't care about the strength. I focus on the weakness. Somebody want to fit in the strength, that's up to them. In-game management, number one. Terrible tactics so far this year. Tactics is wrong.
Okay. In-game management, I can give you that.
And can we take out the strengths for playing the youth? Because for the past 83 years, we've had a youth academy player in our team, bro. So don't put playing the youth. Every manager who's come in has brought in some sort of youth player as well.
Yeah. Okay, development. All right.
Like Carrington. There's something else. How do I put it? I think he doesn't think ahead. Yeah, he doesn't think. He doesn't think. Whatever things like we don't think ahead, he doesn't have that foresight, because the medical staff told you Shaw and Malacia will be back. They told you they'll be back, and you don't have nothing at all. And you said the reason why you said Regulion or back on why the reason why you said Regulion away was because you don't want to keep your left back unhappy. Then they caught Aaron Fernandez back from Granada where he wasn't playing, and send it back to another look to Benfica. Get this man out of my club. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm done with this man. Like, I'm done with this man.
Yeah.
In the strength,
Wait,
in
Papi,
the
you know
strength, you can put trophies. You can put trophies in strength.
Papi, you know in the Africa final we didn't have Casemiro, right?
Come on, Pav. Pav. Winning a trophy it's not a weakness.
No,
Like,
I said you could put it in. You could put it in strengths. I said we've won trophies. That's strengths, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
Winning trophies.
Okay.
Yes, it is a strength, but it's a small strength.
It's a small strength. Come on.
In weaknesses, you can put like basically what would you call it? Obviously, it's falling out with players, but what would we call it?
Oh, yes.
Player relations, relationship,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Poor.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Rashford Belfast thing, letting him off, letting him play next game. Obviously, yeah, things like that.
Poor.
Let's go with maybe equitable player treatment, because I wouldn't necessarily it's poor man management. He sent Sancho to the freaking mountains and let him go meditate or go do whatever the hell he was doing.
True.
Like he tried with
But
Sancho. Sancho was just.
But then after that, he had man eating sandwiches in the car park, bro.
I don't blame him.
He couldn't eat with the youth players because he'd be calling nonce. That's what had him eating in the car park.
He's a serial beef starter. Like, he started beef for everybody. Oh, you bench Casemiro for one game. You bench Varane for passing lane, and then you play in the next game because you want to be more defensive in the back. Oh God, this man.
Whether those beefs are justified or not, like, I mean, if the fallouts he's had are incredible, they're quite like. I understand Santi giving.
He needs a translator. He needs a translator badly.
On the strength, you can put pushback to the media because obviously you ban people. I like that.
No. He just started pushing back. This is like.
We have to give him sign. We have to give him a little nibble, bro.
Yeah.
Put that. Okay, you got it.
Like he definitely has shown that he has that in him. I wish he showed that a long time
tried
ago.
Doing that too, like whenever he banished Samuel Luckhurst and everything, for a press conference. Whether I don't know why they were allowed back the next week.
Oh,
but I feel like he at least tried.
Yeah. Almost, thank you for the points.
Before you say something, can you just see what Matey's just put in the chat? He said Martial's put something on there. Can you get it up on your screen? Because we can have a little look here quickly. Martial said goodbye. I want to see what he says.
Okay, weaknesses, accepts poor decisions from that he should have stood up against the refs a lot. Yes, is that.
But then if you do that, the refs will just be bigger arseholes to the team, won't they? That's why he'd just be like, yeah, whatever, innit? I'd be the same. But if I know that the refs are the pagans they are, I wouldn't even bother wasting my time on them.
But there is something about, like you saw how Klopp, what a manager says can affect how some officials end up treating your team in the season. And for me, I was not happy with how he didn't. He only just started really putting his stamp towards the end of the season, and we can't forget the fact that accepting bad ref, whatever. When the game is done, there's nothing you can do also, but I think there's something you can say to sort of put yourself in a more favorable position next time. So
could you keep it as a strength to say he stabilized the ship through a takeover process? Because I don't know if anybody's been ever part of a structural rearrangement at work, but it is chaotic. It is there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of different things that could affect it. And I feel like even as bad as we were this season, and even last season, right? Because it was all these talks and rumors started right before the World Cup, and he navigated that the best that he could. Like I think that's commendable, even if it's not.
What I would say is that if INEOS when INEOS come in, if they had any incline that this was their man, they would have backed him in January with at least a sign-on or two, even if it was low. But he got nothing in January, and I was pissed off with that because we had big injuries, bro, and they didn't do nothing to support him. So you could kind of say, you could kind of put that on INEOS, even though they were basically waiting to get approved by the Premier League, but they still could have like told Marta and Arnold bring in like 2 players or something on the cheap loan or something, but nothing.
I don't know, because I think
I just had to come back because I was looking at
like,
the list of weaknesses. Tactically stubborn. Okay. So we're not looking at the fact that he actually switched up his style of play this season so many times. Okay, no problem.
It was a couple of times towards the end, man. It wasn't majorly throughout the season,
talent
bro.
ID. Fair enough. Questionable talent ID. Okay. Press conference is a weakness, but then we are saying he's handled the media well. Okay. I think
Communication in press conferences. There is a little bit of
I think that needs to be removed from there, because if people can't understand, that's not his fault, right? That's how I see it. Little Premier League experience. That's his weakness. Lord have mercy, whoever said that.
Mitch mentioned that in the chat, and I had to put it up.
Which is
Like,
fine.
I wouldn't put that in. I'll take that out because
I would
most
take that
managers
out, too.
coming to the Premier League don't have Premier League experience.
Who were first team rotation?
okay,
Newport and domestic games. This I'm sure was said by the same gentleman who's not here, but said, let's play the kids against Bayern Munich in the second half when we still had some hope about Champions League. But we moved. We had so many wonderful, brilliant options on the bench, right? We had Ronaldo, Messi, and everyone in their prime sitting on the bench. No problem. In-game management, I would give it that. Bots, could you remove? I can't see. I'm sorry. Could you remove your cursor?
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, serial beef starter with players. Okay. So he just said something about a person, right? Who decided to clap back in an aggressive way. I think Pep Guardiola has said worse about his players in the entire season.
That would
But
be a
he's the
weakness
serial
as well, by the
he
way.
is the serial beef starter. So just to ask people to, up their standards is beef now. I wonder what they would say about Sir Alex Ferguson. However, moving on, accepting bad ref decisions. I think people don't listen to press conferences because he's mentioned about 2 or 3 times about the results, and he mentioned about getting pens in either post-match interviews or pre-match interviews, reflecting upon the previous game. He's mentioned it a few times that we were supposed to be winning that game because this pen was not given and this pen was not given. But again, people like to don't see that, so we'll just leave it at that. However, I just wanted to come back, Bots, and say that going back to the previous point about the manager, right? People want De Zerbi. If you go back and look at the Premier League table right now, decide you want to shoot yourself in the foot or in the head. Go back and see and tell me what's going on. That's the manager people are gung-going on, that we want De Zerbi. Okay. You want De Zerbi, no? Okay. What's that? -7? Okay. He doesn't have the personnel, I guess.
He conceded. That's quite a lot. Quite a lot of.
No, but he doesn't have the personnel, I guess, right? He doesn't have. He also had injuries. So everything else that you say is a weakness for our manager
The only thing I'd say
an
about De
excuse for
Zerbi
the
is
other manager.
Brighton are really there to like inflate the price of their players. He's just there to raise the prices, sell the players on. He gets players taken out of his team. In the time he's been there, they get sold, and he's starting from scratch pretty much every season. Obviously, some players are there who are there, like Lallana, Milner, Dunk, and whatnot. But I wouldn't even say
the team he inherited last season was not his team. It was Potter's team that he inherited. The team he worked upon and built upon was this team today, this season, and how it has panned out and how it has looked. I'm not comparing by any means, box, for your reference. I'm not comparing Brighton to Manchester United or their goal difference. I'm comparing the tactics and the ideologies of two managers, one that is going to be maybe a possible foreseeable future for you. So we can come back and have these conversations next season as well and talk about the mighty goal difference, since it makes a lot of difference to our fan base all of a sudden.
Well, so I hear it, Ronald. I mean, also, by the way, when you're comparing De Zerbi's performance at Brighton and De Zerbi's like potential, if ever he came to Manchester United, it's two different sets of players, two different budgets, two different expectations. So
I'm not denying anything. The expectations would go higher because literally the Brighton team parted ways with De Zerbi because De Zerbi said, "I want players because I feel I can take you higher than where we are right now." And they said, "We don't want that. We just want to be a selling club." Why are they going back to Potter all of a sudden, fam? They're not looking at McKenna anymore. McKenna is signing a new contract with Ipswich. He's not even going to Chelsea.
I hear it. Stephanie just reminded me of the point about stopping Pep's double-double, you know. Even though by virtue of winning the FA Cup, though, that's.
I mean, if you're going to put that in, to be very honest, might as well just add, say, and Klopp's quadruple as well.
Yes. I mean, that's big. This is what Jason Wilcox is doing right now, you know. And
I mean, you could say, yeah, ensured that Klopp left Liverpool with just the Carabooby Cup. That's it.
Oh my God!
Martial put out a goodbye statement.
And Pav, no disrespect. I've not spoken to you a lot, right? I'm not trying to be disingenuous and shut you down on your point, but I would still write bringing up the youth in strengths. I have my reason, and I can share it with you.
No, man. What is it? I think it's 83 or 84 years that we've had a youth player in our team consistently. Yeah, in our starting in our match day squad. Like Mourinho brought in youth players in McTominay. Van Gaal's done it. We had youth players when McTominay was there. Before Fergie was there, we had youth players. Before them, bro.
Before you lash out, at least hear the person's argument, man.
Go on.
Now you go on and lash out all you want. Do you think it would matter? Because at the end of the day, I will still say what I want.
Calm.
You're talking about the same management, John Murtaugh and the club, that said no to Erling Haaland and said no to Bellingham because teenagers were asking for a lot of minutes. This is the same management you're looking at that said when we got Amad Diallo and Pelestri at their perfect peak age of 19, they said send them on loan. And you're telling me if at all Garnacho and Kobe Mainu were under not this manager but them, it would have been different.
Mate,
you're talking about giving them a debut. You're talking about giving them a debut. I'm talking about making them first team players, integrating them into the system.
Didn't Van Gaal do
not
that
over
to
a period of that
Didn't
can
Oli
also
do that
be
to
their
Greenwood?
strength, Pav. Come on.
So it was Jose's strength.
Can it not be a strength for? Can it not be a? Oh wow, Lord have mercy! Can one thing not be a strength for two or three managers?
He was a youth player.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Wouldn't you say that it falls under player development, developing young players? Wouldn't you say that?
No, but we've always developed young players. We've always gave young players a chance with whatever manager it is.
We've never given so many young players a chance at the same time. And that's also due to the injuries.
Kobe Mainu and Garnacho, and who was the young centre back? What's his name again?
Willie Cambuala.
Okay, yeah, Cambuala come in because obviously the injuries and whatnot. That's the only reason he come in. Mate,
Ethan Whitley.
Come on, Forson's had 2-3 appearances, and that's been injuries as well.
You can use your point to say, oh, we gave chances to those. Those managers gave chances to these players as well. I gave you 5 names.
I think
Mate, I've already said. I said every manager has come and has given youth a chance. It's not a strength. It's what Man United is. Like we've got the longest history, the longest record for having youth players in a matchday squad, bro. And like I said, youth players will always break into a team, or will be given the chance if they're good enough.
And he has a very big point here, saying Rashford, by the way, came in because of an injury, and Kobe was a planned integration into.
Of course, because Kobe was good enough to make the team. Like obviously,
Ahmed Diallo wasn't planned, right?
Yeah,
Ahmed Diallo wasn't in his plans. Garnacho wasn't in his plans.
We spent 30 to 40 million on bringing in Ahmed Diallo in, bro.
Yeah, and then he was sent on loans.
He's not the youth. He's not part of the youth.
So why did he not play? Why did he not play 5 games straight in the last 3 years that he's been here, or 2 years?
Bro, what's Ahmed Diallo got to do with the our youth academy?
Palestri.
Again, the point is youth. The point is not youth academy.
Yes, Palestri, by the way.
I said Palestri and Ahmad were both brought in that same summer to go be directly part of the senior squad by Oli.
Yeah, and then they were sent on loans. They were brought in.
And I don't think Oli wanted either of them. Palestri was recommended by Diego Forlan, and I do not know what Murta was thinking when we
you might be mistaking my point of saying youth to academy. I'm not saying academy, my guy. I'm saying youth. A minute, minuscule difference in both of them.
All right, Ronald, I feel like your case was strong. I know Pav is saying it's an expectation for every manager, but I feel like
if that's the case, Bots, why don't you go ahead and remove from strengths winning trophies? Because that's the expectation of Manchester United.
Right. Yeah, Ronald.
Go ahead and remove that strength. Player development is something that we've always done. Remove that. Support from majority of fans. We've always backed our players. Support that. Remove that. Come on, remove everything from there. No strength, only weaknesses.
I want to welcome Lou in this conversation. What's up, Lou? You've been hearing what we're talking about. Welcome to the discussion, strengths, weaknesses of Ten Hag. How are you feeling, by the way? Here? Lou? Lou, you disappointing me now.
No, give her a minute or two. She has that struggle with the voice. She might be trying to, fix it between YouTube and here.
Yeah. Well, please feel free to chime in, join in anytime, Luette. There we go.
Hi. Oh, my mic was turned off.
Lou, can you hear us?
Oh, good.
Yes, I can hear you clearly, but you obviously couldn't hear me. Yeah. I looked and my mic was off. So sorry about that.
That's totally fine.
But Luan.
Hey, Ronald.
I just want to say big up for being the top in the bots charts.
Yes.
What you did was generational.
Come on.
Dang.
Because I put my money on Luan early. I said, Mark, no way you're winning this. Luan is going to come in and cook. And she did.
I'm really happy about that, to be honest. I'm really, really happy about that. Yeah. Okay, so you guys are dealing with strengths and weaknesses.
Big up to Pav, big up to Santi. I know, guys, we're about to wrap up the stream. Please make sure you jump on KG's channel. The Reckless review starts in about 10 minutes. So big shout out to you, Santi and Pav as well. But Lou, please contribute. What were you saying? What were you saying?
Okay, so I had to write my points down because of the brain fog that happens because of what's happening with me with the long COVID thing. So I wrote a few points, and it's not about strengths and weaknesses. It's just my opinion on how the year has gone.
Yes.
That cool?
Of course. That's cool. Please.
Okay. So the first point I want to make, my opinion hasn't changed since the first season with ETH. I've always been given the length of his contract. Let's see how he does and then judge him after that. And first year, it was like, I felt like, wow, he did better than I thought he was going to come in and do. And I was really pleased about that. But in this year, injury has definitely played a major role in the performances. Absolutely 100%. I remember one match. I can't even remember what it is. Like, I'm not one of those ones who have the stats and the dates and the teams and all of that. But I remember, I remember looking at our team, and I realized we had no defense, none whatsoever. And I could see, I thought there's no way they're going to maul us. But if I remember correctly, we barely scraped through. So the injuries definitely had a major role in how we did. And I think we did okay. I mean, I would take the 8th place and the FA Cup over getting second like Arsenal did, 100%.
Come on.
You know, I would no, I'm serious. I'd take the 8th place and get the FA Cup, especially the way we played against City. You know, and I'm definitely keep him and then assess at the end of the coming year. And the way that they were looking to kick him out, like after the FA Cup, I thought that was pretty shitty. I mean, after everything, like seriously, what the hell was that? Yeah. You know, it made no sense whatsoever. Anyway, the other thing is health. Health is general, not just physical, right? We have to look at the health of the players also.
Okay.
Also,
the health of your
because I mean, he's had to deal with so. I'm sorry, say that again.
No. Your Wi-Fi was going a little, but it's back. It's back. It was not healthy for a second.
Oh, my Wi-Fi. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that. Oh, okay. I was saying, right, the health of not just the players, but ETH too. I mean, this is high octane shit we're talking about. Like, seriously, you know, we have to look at the general health, like all those guys with all those muscle, this, that, the other. Like, Kobe got hit so hard that he was out for a long time, you know, and everybody just kept getting injured. And those kind of injuries we have to look at. But we also have to look at the mental health of player, staff, everybody, you know? The other thing is we have a toxic fan base. I know I'm going to get hit for this, but you guys have to stop talking shit about our players, man. Come on. They're out there busting a gut, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, we're talking so much negativity about them, and we have to remember that they see our remarks and they look at that and they, I don't know. They see these things and it affects them, you know? I want to say something about Rashford, totally different. This is my opinion. He's my boy, right? Rashford. A lot of people are talking about he got his new contract and now he's doing crap and this and that and the other. You guys need to realize that that money is an extra noose around his neck. You guys have to realize that. Having that, feeling like he has to live up to all of that, coming off a 30-goal season, that's heavy. That's heavy. I saw this thing. I didn't look at the whole thing, but I think it's the overlap that what's his name? Goalkeeper Onana was on. Onana, yeah, an interview. I didn't see the interview, but I saw a thumbnail about it, and it says the United shirt is heavy.
Yes.
And that hit me. That hit me deep in my heart. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I've been saying. That's exactly how I've been feeling. You know, we have to realize that these people are human beings. You know, look at Maguire. When he was captain, he did the most fucked up things you could ever think about. Pardon my French, sorry about that.
It's okay. There goes
He,
monetization.
he
But
did,
so
sorry,
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just let your point. Let your point.
I'm sorry,
Go, go.
I'm
I'll go
sorry.
ahead.
Like
Let's go
when he
ahead.
had that armband,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
when Maguire had the armband, they were making fun of him in the parliament. And where was it? Africa, one of those African parliaments.
Probably. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so he was calling his opposition leaders the Maguire. You know, because but once they took it away, the guy started cooking. He started doing so much better. You know, it's up for debate whether he's good enough for United as the fan base. They always sit down and talk about this. But Maguire started doing better once he got rid of that. United is a difficult team to play for. And we need to recognize that our players need to have our support, not just be bashed all the time. The last point I want to make.
Okay, okay.
I'm sorry?
If you can
Yeah.
hang on before making that point, but I love that you brought up Maguire. This is the reason why I wanna say Maguire is an example in terms of mental strength. We need players
Fortitude, yes.
as strong as Maguire. Now, if why? Because Manchester United is a top club. It's like, heritage wise, we are the biggest in the world, or behind Real Madrid. But like it's not cut for everybody. There's talent around the world from every continent. There's talent, but that talent has to be coupled with application, passion, desire, mental strength, focus. All those things have to come together to make the players that are capable and deserve to play for Manchester United. So if you're going to be a mentally fragile but talented player, then maybe Man United is not the club you should be playing for. What do you think about that?
No, I hear that. But you have to understand that United is a club that almost everyone aspired to play for. So no matter, it's kind of like a catch-20, you know? What happened is oh wow, I want to play for United. But then on the other hand, they come in and they realize the kind of crap they get for playing for United. It's hard, it's hard. It's six of one thing, half a dozen of another. It's difficult. It's extremely difficult. So could I go on to the last point, because I know you want to close it up too?
Yes, please, 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 please.
Okay, so the facilities are lacking. I looked at the City documentary and got a whole different perspective. When the City players were coming off the field, they were limping. They looked ragged, and it made me look at it different. What I saw was different to what I look at to when I look at the game actually being played. This is footage of them leaving. They were limping. They were like, oh, and from there they all went in, and they had these amazing facilities to go back to. I know you saw the documentary too, Papi. The pool that they all went in, and the ice baths and all that kind of stuff. That they had to go back to the gyms, that they had to go work out. It was top notch. And the thing about it is, I haven't seen the United facilities, but if I'm to go according to what CR7 said, doesn't compare.
Yeah, it feels like Manchester United is a third world country. And
yes. So that's the other thing. Like when those people get to go back in and they could rejuvenate themselves before they get dressed to go home. Whereas United, they jump in the shower and then they're gone. All the stuff that they have to deal with. It's still there. They're not washing it off before they go. A shower doesn't wash it off.
Yeah.
You know, a
Yeah.
shower doesn't wash it off. Like, honestly, like, the facilities are amazing at City. That much I could tell you. I haven't seen United, but if I'm to go by what CR7 said, major difference. And that was my last point. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if everybody agrees with me, but at least I don't expect everybody to agree with me.
Sure.
So
No, I think your point actually touches. We talked a little bit about this when Pav and Ronald and Omo and Manj was here. About part of when I asked the question about why are we having so many injuries? Is Ten Hag's training a little bit crazy? Like, what do we expect? Because imagine, Luan, we go into next season with the same number of injuries recurring. Willie Kambala, who's a young buck, fresh guy in the sea,
I know.
injured. Like, at some point you have to scratch your head and say, what the hell is going on? But the conversation illuminated that we have the restructuring of the medical team is ongoing. Of course, we signed a guy called Gary O'Driscoll. He was the Arsenal medical guy there, and he's our head now. Even though he's come in, I guess he's part of the restructuring, and maybe he's identified the bad eggs, because we might have had some people who have faked their medical certificates to get the job. Like, the way it's happening is just ridiculous. And I hope when going into next season, we're not on the same boat. It worries me. Like,
Yeah, it does worry me too. It does worry me too. Like, we're supposed to be Manchester United. Oh, could I say one more thing?
of course.
Okay. The other thing that I've been noticing that's been coming from and I'm going back to the toxic fan base.
Sure.
We go into games expecting Fergie era kind of performances, things from back then. I is we are not the same as we were then. We have to work
Wi-Fi
with what we have.
is-
We also have to move
But
forward.
please repeat the last
My
20
Wi-Fi
seconds
cut
again.
out?
No,
Okay,
it's
hold
like
on. I'm going to
it's-
take my Wi-Fi off.
You're good.
I don't know why my Wi-Fi. Oh, you're hearing me now? Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Can I repeat that the way I did it? I'm saying, my thing was the toxic fan base. I was going back to the people who are oh boy, see, that's my brain fog. I'm going back to those guys that look at it from Fergie era.
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you perfectly. Yes. From Fergie era.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the same expectations that we have in Fergie, and we're not moving forward, right? We are doing this because, as far as we're concerned, with Fergie was able to talk to the players in this way, and he got results and that. But we have to move on. We have to grow up. We can't stay the same forever. We have to learn to move with the times. Oh, Fergie would go and give him a kick up the ass, that kind of thing. But no, you can't do that. You have to learn to deal with people. As we evolve, so do different things evolve,
Correct. Yeah.
So that's the other point that I wanted to make. We can't expect the club to be the same forever. And basically, I'm sorry, say that again.
No, I'm saying, I 100% agree with you. I was just clapping in agreement.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
I will tell you this, Luan, your boy Marcus Rashford, who you love so much, 17 minutes ago, he tweeted this. I'm about to read it out for you, okay? It's time to come off socials for a few weeks. I plan to rest
Yes.
and reset mentally after a challenging season individually and collectively. Thanks to the
Yes.
fans that stood by me through a difficult period, to the ones
I'm
that
one of those, my boy.
I know you started supporting United because of Rashford. He says, so
Yeah.
thanks to you, people like you, Luen, and then to the ones that didn't just remember to the ones that didn't just remember at United, we always stick together. Yeah, I don't know that
Yeah.
last sentence, but like he was just saying, thank you for all the support. He's gonna go
Mhm.
turn up, which I think he should try and practice maybe for even half the season. Stay out. You're not gonna miss anything.
You know
Rashford
what?
socials,
Mhm.
you know?
You know what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna go check all my socials that he's been on and see because I'm following him on everything. That's the thing about it. People look at it and they think you're new to United, so you don't have the Fergie era this and the Fergie era that. But the bottom line is, I joined because of this kid because he's a year older than my daughter, and I looked at him as a young black man and I felt proud of him, and because of that, I chose to support United.
Yes.
Now, if he were to go elsewhere, I will follow him to there, but I'm still staying with United because that's the
Okay.
team, the club that I chose to support.
Yeah. No, I
But
like that you qualified that statement that way, because at the end of the day, even though we love the club, there's always players that
mhm,
support more than other players. There's player FC and
mhm,
club FC, and we are all like different combinations of that, and that doesn't mean that this person is more important than the other person. And in my perspective, Luen, even if you just started supporting United just a few years ago or just recently, your support to United is as valuable to Man United and the Man United community as somebody who started supporting it in 1992 or in 82 or in 72. It's like there's no like trophy for I started it supporting X amount of years before you. It's like we are all loving this team, this club, so we all have to stand
that's
behind
my
it.
club.
That's what connects
That's
us,
my club.
you know.
Yeah,
So,
that's my
shout out
club.
to
I
you.
love United. I love United and I will support United. I won't support the crap that they do. I will always call them out for that. But
Yeah,
when it comes to the club, I love my club.
I,
You know,
hey,
I love my
well,
club.
well said.
So yeah.
On the tweets, oh my God, Man United players are tweeting left, right, and center. I'm just gonna read a snippet from Luke Shaw. Also said something that I just want to just share with you. So, and everybody that's tuned in, guys, kindly hit the like button for finally our boys are speaking out. We've got more tweets than points, but here we go. Luke Shaw said, "Happy for the boys to lift the trophy at the weekend and finish this season on a positive. As much as it
Hmm.
as much as it was the result I wanted, it was hard to watch from the stands. I actually did not even
Hmm.
camera penning to Luke Shaw. I saw Malasia, and that was surprising, but Luke Shaw, I didn't. He said, he also went on to say, this has definitely been the most frustrating season for me. I've I have had setback after setback, and we've worked so hard to get back to fitness, but things just haven't gone my way. I pushed so hard to get back before the end of the season and the final, but some things just aren't meant to be.
Hmm.
I'm going to skip to the last paragraph, last two sentences. He says, I appreciate I haven't updated you all with my injuries and where I'm at with my recovery, but equally the most important thing to me is that we're supporting the team playing. My biggest focus
Hmm.
right now is being fit, and then whatever happens this summer, I will be ready. Thank you for your patience. Love emoji.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
it's yeah, another tweet, another posting from a Man United, my lord. It feels like they all have that Twitter socials open up right now. But what's his name? Martial also said this right now. So he said,
Oh, he's leaving though, isn't he?
yeah, it's Dear Manchester United fans, it's with great emotion that I write to you today to say goodbye. After 9 incredible
Oh,
years at the club. The time has come for me to turn a new page in my career. Paragraph. I'm going to skip to the last one. Manchester United will always be in my heart. This club has left its mark on my career and offered me an incredible opportunity to play in front of you. I'm leaving to take on new challenges. I'll always be a Red Devil, and I'll continue to follow the club's results with passion. Thank you again for everything, and see you soon. With all my affection, Anthony Martial. Mm,
I want to say one little thing about Martial, if
yes,
that's okay.
of course, of course.
I think that we've been really ridiculously hard on Martial. Also, yes, he is injury prone, but he's not injury prone because he made himself injury prone. He became injury prone playing for the team. You know, the
Yeah,
thing about it is we have been so hard on him. You know,
yeah.
I am guilty too because I've said that he's made of glass. I remember saying that clear as day.
Oh, the boss
But
man too. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, I've said that. But I think that we're like ridiculously hard on him. Ridiculously hard on him. But he didn't just get injured, he got injured playing for us. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, what happens with these players is they get injured and they're brought back before, and then they re injure themselves, and that way it becomes every little thing makes them so hurt that they can't play for long periods of time. And I want to say thank you to Martial, you know?
he gave us some brilliant goals. He gave us some good moments. So yeah, thank you to Martial too. I this the thing that's frustrating is like how much he contributes to the team, especially when but Ronaldo was being benched. The few times when Martial was around, and you could see the difference between like a top like a player with his attributes, what difference he does
Hmm.
to our offensive line and how the ball sticks.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Also, I love the chemistry that he used to have with Pogba. Back then. That was
Yes.
also beautiful
Yeah,
to watch.
unfortunately. Oh,
Yeah.
Papi, I sent you a thing of all the players who was in Jose's FA Cup winning side and where they are now. Have a look at that. It's
All right.
sad.
All right. Let's see it. Did you
Yeah.
tweet it? Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. You have to look at it on your own time. It's actually
Okay.
YouTube video made
Gotcha.
by somebody about them. I sent it to you and I wrote on it a must watch. So when you have a chance, go to WhatsApp and look at it.
I will do it. I'll do it. Mitch. Oh, Mitch says I wouldn't mind Martial as a backup. No, Mitch. I think the time has come to say goodbye. That's the other thing. We can't hang on to players too much. I know
No, no, he has to go. He has to go. He has to
you
go.
for the benefit of
Yeah.
both of us. Sometimes Mitch is
Yeah. You know what?
say
I have
goodbye.
a feeling Martial would do better elsewhere.
That's the
I
part
have.
that watch him go wherever. Like maybe I don't even know his next step. Is he gonna go to Saudi Arabia or America, or maybe still play a little bit in another competitive league? Like I don't know, Italy or
I
something.
hope he gets well. I hope he gets well, but I think he'll do better away from United. And I will have a special place in my heart because I've watched him take on guys and nobody could touch him. He is a formidable player.
Yeah,
And it's too bad that he was injured so much.
yeah. Such an unfortunate situation. Anyway, Lou,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you so
Okay.
much. It was special for you to be here while these tweets and statements that were coming out. So I'm glad we got to them together. And yeah,
Hmm.
points that you contributed to the conversation as well. I appreciate you so much. And one more time, congrats on winning the power predictions. You are not winning it
Thank
next year.
you.
I, sh- I
Because you're going to win, right?
Stephanie thinks that she's gonna win. I know I'm gonna win. It's gonna be a serious competition. Actually, starting with the Euros, so we will be there. All right.
Hey, Stephanie, do you know what? I wouldn't mind if you win. Let's keep the estrogen up there.
Oh, get out of here. This is not a ladies' channel. Oh, lots of love to you, Luan. Lots of love. Thank you so much for pulling up. And guys that have been, Eddie sends this congratulations, respect. If you've ever given a prediction on this channel, you gotta give the real respect to Luan, because she's got all them predictions right. And I just don't know her secret. I want to know the secret. So but I bet she won't tell me because she wants to win. So whatever. I'll develop my own method. Shout out to GK, by the way. I saw that you are a new person in this community. I want to make sure that you feel welcomed and you know that you are important here. Your presence matters. And everybody else that's been in the chat too, keeping the chat alive. Much love and appreciation to that. Also, whoa, man, like Pav became a new member. Shout out to Pav. I appreciate you so much, my bro. Brush as well has been in here, but Brush is actually hosting on the show right now on KG the Comedian's channel called The Reckless Review. Make sure you check it out. And I think we will be celebrating more of that FA Cup. Remember, guys, we won against Manchester City. I woke up this morning. Can I tell you guys something? I woke up this morning thinking that City are about to equalize. And I was like, how much more edit time? Like the first thought that I had when I woke up was how much is left in edit time, And I know there's some people that were like, no, we were in control all of that game. I was sweating on the watch along. If you were here, you'll be my witness. You'll know that I was really like counting down. And I think Anita is the person who was ahead in the stream. And I was like, please tell us if it's full time yet, and fortunately we got to full time and ended the game 2-1. But yeah, I'm still in a little bit of this is kind of surreal world, Shout out to Benidre. I saw you in the chat as well, my friend. I want to make sure I send you my flowers. And Lucky, Jack, Box, Danny B, Stephanie, as always, for being a trooper. Mitch, as always, you are an important member of this community as well. And my Lord, we're growing. I can't scroll through all the chat right now. It's funny because I used to be able to just do that and shout out everybody. Brendan, I already said big up to you. Compost, Joe Blackman, and also Red One, the people that were here early. Red One and Lucky, and also Ronald. I saw your super chat, bro. Thank you for that. Thank you to Omar for pulling up with the suit as well, being extra some at least in his looks and his deliberation. And guys, I want to know, what you think about some of the stuff that we've talked about. If you're watching this in hindsight, I'll show you one more time the strengths and weaknesses that we had in our conversation. And Ronald, by the way, said we should put back playing young players as a priority. Playing young players. That's not a given. That's an actual quality that Erik Ten Hag has. And I'm curious what your assessment is of Erik Ten Hag's pros and cons. I think Box once gave a very, very, very nice chat that was summarizing this as well. So I appreciate you so much. And here we go. Road to 2K, says Mitch. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bots or botswanapapi or Papi. And this is our space. So thank you for being here. And I think we actually hit some peak numbers today. I saw there was 47 people on YouTube at one point, and I was just stay focused on the conversation. So I appreciate everybody that's been just checking out the channel. And I'm encouraging you all to subscribe. Oh, Josh is new member of this family as well. Big up, Papi. I came from Reckless Delegate Josh. Welcome. My pleasure to be here. Wow, 32 likes. Amazing. Guys, have yourself a wonderful rest of your Monday. Go. Let's watch the highlights again. At least if you don't want to, if you don't want to watch the whole game, watch the highlights again. We did something remarkable over the weekend, and our players really showed up. So I'm not gonna take that for granted. Yeah. Anyway, peace. Football Power Hour. Manchester City, where they at?